Have you ever wondered why that perfect relationship suddenly fell apart? Why the woman who said she loved you last week is now acting like a complete stranger? Brothers, what I'm about to share will change how you see every romantic interaction for the rest of your life. Most men spend years trying to decode female behavior using logic, facts, and reason. But here's the brutal truth nobody wants to tell you: you're speaking two completely different languages. While you operate in a world of consistency and commitment, she's navigating through pure emotion and feeling. Think about it. When she says she loves you, she absolutely means it in that exact moment. Her emotions are real, her feelings are genuine. But emotions are like weather patterns, constantly shifting and changing. What felt like eternal love on Tuesday can transform into complete indifference by Thursday. And in her mind, both realities are equally valid because they both felt true when she experienced them. This isn't about women being deceptive or manipulative. It's about understanding that emotional truth operates on completely different principles than logical truth. When you're busy at work and can't text back immediately, you see dedication and responsibility. When she doesn't hear from you, she feels neglected and unloved. Both perspectives exist simultaneously, but only one gets to define the relationship's direction. Social media has amplified this disconnect to dangerous levels. Every day, women are bombarded with highlight reels of perfect couples, romantic gestures, and fairy tale relationships. The real man sitting across from them at dinner gets compared to filtered Instagram posts and carefully edited TikTok moments. You're not competing with other real men anymore, you're competing with fantasies that don't exist. She starts believing that anything less than constant butterflies means the relationship is failing. If you're not texting like Shakespeare, surprising her like a millionaire, and loving her like a romantic movie character, then clearly you're not the one. The bar keeps getting higher because it's not even a real bar, it's a digital mirage that changes every time she scrolls. Here's where it gets really complex. Modern dating culture tells women to trust their feelings above everything else. If it feels right, it must be right. If it feels wrong, run immediately. But feelings without context or commitment create chaos. Imagine building a house where the foundation changes based on the weather. That's what emotional decision-making without grounding looks like. You'll notice patterns if you pay attention. She falls hard and fast, creating elaborate future scenarios before learning your middle name. This isn't love, it's emotional projection. She's falling for a story, a possibility, a version of you that exists primarily in her imagination. When reality starts showing up, when you reveal normal human flaws and limitations, the fantasy crumbles and suddenly the contradictions become obvious once you understand this framework. She wants a strong leader who follows her lead. She desires a confident provider who doesn't care about money. She craves emotional availability from someone who stays mysteriously aloof. These aren't logical requests because they're not coming from logic. They're coming from emotional impulses that shift based on her current mood and circumstances. This creates an impossible situation for men who are trying to build something real. You're playing a game where the rules change without warning, where yesterday's correct answer becomes today's deal breaker. You can show up consistently for months, but one day when she's feeling disconnected, none of that history matters because her current emotional state has rewritten the entire relationship narrative. The testing never stops either. The more grounded and stable you become, the more she'll unconsciously test that stability. It's not malicious, it's instinctual. She needs to know that your strength is real, that your consistency won't crumble under pressure. She'll create chaos to see if you'll join her in it or remain anchored in reality. Many men fail this test because they don't understand what's happening. They think they need to fix her emotional storms instead of simply weathering them. They abandon their own center to chase her constantly moving emotional target. But the moment you lose your grounding, you lose her respect, even if she was the one pulling you off balance. The exhaustion you feel isn't weakness, it's the natural result of trying to build something permanent with someone who operates in temporary emotional states. You're trying to love who she could be instead of accepting who she actually is right now. You're holding on to memories of how she made you feel in the beginning, while ignoring the chaos she's creating today. Protection starts with understanding that her emotional world isn't your responsibility to manage or fix. You can't logic someone out of feelings they didn't logic themselves into. Your job is to stay rooted in what's real, to lead with clarity and consistency, regardless of the emotional weather around you. Build your world first, based on your values, standards, and vision. Make it so solid that emotional storms can't shake its foundation. Then, if a woman wants to enter that world, you watch her actions, not her words. You observe her patterns, not her promises. Does she bring peace or chaos? Growth or distraction? Reality or more illusion? The right woman, the rare one, will eventually recognize that fantasy can't provide what she actually needs: stability, leadership, genuine connection. When that realization hits, she'll seek out the man who never wavered, who stayed grounded while she was floating in emotional turbulence. But here's the key: by the time she's ready for reality, you might have already moved on. You'll have built a life that doesn't require external validation to feel complete. And that's not a tragedy, that's victory. Because a man who chooses peace over potential, who values his sanity over someone else's fantasy, has already won the only game that matters.